number 4. So I've got Cody out here, and Cody is a 4-5-5-0 player, and what I want to look at is I want to analyze who am I playing tonight. And if I'm playing against somebody at a lower level that are hitting balls with no rhyme or reason, I want to use Continental Grip, because I can't expect balls to be in my strike zone that are going to be easy for me to hit. Now, if I'm playing somebody my level, well, that's fine. I'm going to use everything that I've got and change grips, and in one point I'm probably going to use 3 or 4 different grips. Now, somebody who is at a higher level that, you know, Cody's got me by 23, 24 years, and he's going to be able to run around and scrounge, and for me to keep up with him, I need to consider a grip that allows me to do that. And I may not be able to use my aggressive grips. I may have to resort to Continental grips, which are going to be a little more consistent, a little more ability to place those balls rather than over hitting, getting a little anxious and making shots that, or attempting shots that I shouldn't. So let's see how that goes. And I'm going to try and play against Cody with Continental Grip and see how he does. And then if I feel comfortable, then I'll start addressing the ball a little different and striking maybe with an Eastern, which still gives me a little more consistency rather than going to the semi-Western or maybe even all the way over into the Western. I don't have the legs. I'm in my mid-50s. I've had surgery on these guys, and it's hard for me to get around. So that's what gives me the advantage of coming out, is understanding who is my opponent that I'm playing against, making that adjustment, and maybe it just means taking the racket, opening the face a little bit more, and controlling my shots rather than going for something desperate and out of control. All right, let's look at that and see how that goes. Cody and I had a chance to warm up a little bit before I started the video. And you'll notice at this point, I'm using an Eastern grip and changing that to a Continental only when I need it. And we're hitting pretty aggressive together, although I think he's being a little bit nice to me. What I want you to do, if you want to skim ahead and not watch this portion, is to go to about the 4-minute 30-second spot and start from there. And you'll see me go through this transition where I changed to the Continental Grip exclusively. This was more or less what Cody would rather, is having me hit and drive balls. He's going to handle this and enjoy this quite a bit more. You can go ahead and watch from this point if you like. Otherwise, skip ahead to the 4-minute 30-second and start from there, and you'll see the transition.
Good. No. 4-3.
All right, this is a turning point for me. And you'll see I'm going to miss a few balls here. And I'm actually starting to think a little bit more about what I'm doing. And I'm getting tired. We've been playing for quite a while. But that miss right there got into my head. I started thinking about it. I should have changed my grip, used a Continental at that point. Cody and I have been playing for quite a while at this, up to this point. and I miss another ball here, and it takes that for me to recognize, and you'll see it in my grip. I need to change my grip to Continental, and there it is. I'm slowing the game down. I'm using a grip that's going to give me much more success, and my hope is that Cody doesn't change and adjust for the type of ball that I'm giving him. He wants to swing hard, and he needs a particular ball that's coming into his strike zone with spin and pace. Without that, he's got to be really careful, and you can see it here. He's shanking balls, he's missing easy shots, but it isn't necessarily related to his swing. It's related to there is a necessary pace on the ball that is required for aggressive shots. And if you're not being hit those shots, your ball has to be much more precise with the spin, not so much the pace. So it's an interesting point in the video where you can see I'm throwing off the rhythm by slowing down and hitting balls more with placement and not necessarily with pace. And the Continental Grip gives me that opportunity to do that. So from here on out in the video, I'm using Continental Grip exclusively, and it gives you a chance to see a difference in the rhythm of the game. Obviously slower for me, easier for me to maintain, but also since I'm just hitting spots like that one there, it puts me in an advantage where my error potential, my error ratios are going down.
One more? I'm going old school Continental.
I know,
It's hard, isn't it? It doesn't give you the same ball to hit. There one.
So you heard it from Cody a second ago. He's saying this is really hard. He sees that I've changed the momentum of the game by going into a Continental Grip. And it is to my advantage. If I can't keep up with his pace, and I'm getting tired, and I want to compete, slowing the game down, using an open face is much more to my advantage. His mistake is not making the adjustment. He needs to beat me at the game that I'm presenting to him. You can't expect somebody who's hitting Continental to give you a ball that has the necessary pace and spin on it that the aggressive grips require. And that's the adjustment that needs to be made. If you, as a club player, you often see heavy, hard-hitting players lose because they don't make the adjustment to the player that's just accurately directing the ball around the court, and they feel like, how can I possibly losing to somebody who's hitting so slow? And I wouldn't call that pushing. You know, this is much more accurate and effective. The ultimate goal of the match is to win the match, and it's not just hitting a ball back with no rhyme or reason for where it's going. Every shot with that control has a purpose. The problem is the person on the other side who is the heavy hard hitter. They're not making the adjustment. They need to be capable of winning the point by control. and the no pace game. But too many players, again, I'll say it again, just don't have that. They have one pace, too fast, too hard. And it's necessary that you learn to have other options in your menu of tennis.
So you can see the dynamic of the game changes. When I'm playing against a higher level player, somebody who's got much more power, much more kick, but I can neutralize them by using the Continental Grip, and it puts me at a position of less errors, less desire to do more than I need to, and I can just start directing the ball. And by keeping the ball in play, my chances of winning the point are better. However, the adjustment really comes from my opponent recognizing that a slow-paced ball can't necessarily be driven hard. It can be driven with lots of spin, but the moment you try and up that pace, you're gonna have a hard time keeping that ball in play. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was just a little experiment to watch, and if you have any questions, please comment. If you please subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. And I'll keep the videos going. I'll have more for you soon. Bye.